Hello, hello, hello. It is Sunday evening. Just finally getting around to getting myself into my craft room a little bit. I haven't been in here all day. Uh, as I yawn, fighting some fatigue. Um, so I did kind of a little bit of prep work last night, and then I was going to film this last night, and I got really tired. Started falling asleep, and then I did fall asleep in my craft chair. So I was like, "Yeah, it's probably time for me to get myself up and off to bed." But what I was doing off camera, I got a lot of my steampunk digital stuff, got it cut out, which makes it much easier to use. When it's ready, you don't have to pause and cut stuff out, pause, cut stuff out, pause, cut stuff out. So I was going to make some pockets and flippy stuff based off of some of the challenges that I've done recently. You watched any of my other, excuse me, my previous videos, you'll see that I did this one on screen. I still haven't decided whether I'm going to make this as a writing surface and clip this in, or glue it down as a pocket tuck. I haven't decided that yet. I will figure that out when it comes time for me to put them into the journal. Sorry, I had brought these out for a reason, because these pockets aren't straight, because the original was done with paper, so you would fold this all the way up and over, but because I already had envelopes and I already had them dyed, I'm going to use the envelopes instead. And I have just some aged music paper that I'm going to slide in there just to give that a solid surface for the pocket to adhere to. So we'll see how that turns out when I get to it. For now, we're going to set those off to the side. Stay. So I have these 3 multi-pockets, I don't know what else to call them, that are made out of pharmacy bags. This one I will definitely glue down because I don't want to cover that back. Same with this one. And in reality, I probably, in all likelihood, will glue all 3 of these down to a page, just given their size. They are 4.5 by roughly 6.5. So that fills almost an entire page. So if I just did some stenciling on the background, these would cover and decorate an entire page all by themselves. So I most likely will end up just gluing them down as pockets rather than removables. So with that, let's get this party started. Oh, and I need to... Are my brads still here? Oh, I think they are. I need to go get my brads, but I think they're actually still sitting here. But are these my... Oh. Eventually I will use all of these, and then I may or may not buy more. I haven't really decided, so I don't really use them all that often. So I've got square ones, I've got round ones. almost feeling like these are going to be too big. Or do I want to go with smaller and square? So I think I like the smaller ones. We got small square versus oh, really? What's going on here? Why is this not going down? There we go. Versus, get my fingers on it again. Keep dropping them. See, I think the big circle ones are too big. Thinking. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the square. The small square ones. I don't know how many sets I have, though. And I'm not going to be putting 4 on each either. I don't want the shiny ones. Definitely don't want the rose gold ones, especially since they're shiny. Yeah, I was talking to someone the other day, and I had made a comment that I swear that my old dogs have made the conscious decision to make whatever days they have left on the planet the most miserable they possibly can for their humans. Because they are driving us absolutely up the wall. Like suddenly we don't know the house rules. We're begging, not just begging for food, but like literally coming up and putting their faces on the edges of our plates, and it's like that has never, ever, 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 ever been an acceptable behavior. But now it's like, oh yeah, it's like I'm old and who knows how much longer I'm gonna live, so I'm just gonna break all the rules. They're walking figure 8s around our feet and tripping us, trying to jump up on the couch, which also has always been a rule, has never been allowed. 15 years of living, never been allowed on the couch. And now suddenly it's like, oh yeah, as soon as you walk out of the room, guess what? I'm going to jump up on the couch. I'm like, what? What is the deal? Said walking figure 8s around our feet. And not only that, walking right in front of us and then stopping. Just for no reason. So we can't, we have to either bump them or, walk around them. And my husband and I have different ways of handling that. He will walk around them, which, in my opinion, gives them permission to keep doing it. Whereas I will bump them in the butt and make them move. coming into the kitchen while we're cooking. Never been allowed. Ever been allowed. But every single time one of us is in the kitchen, we're having to yell for them to get out. And it's like, what? What is this? The constant up our butts. They're, following us around everywhere we go. I can't breathe. I can go into the bathroom to get a glass of water, and suddenly they're like right there, standing at the kitchen entrance, going like, "What are you getting for me? For me?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, go lay down." Again, go lay down. Don't understand what is going on. So I just have some papers cut out. Just to cover that front and give it a little bit something other than, this plain boring whiteness. And granted, it is, the bag itself is coffee dyed. It's got some design to it, but not a whole lot. Put that in there upside down because it's already given me fits. There's that one. And try to keep the pieces together. Because this pockets, they want to flop up and open. It's like if I just stick the pieces, the cutouts on there, when it flops up, it dumps them everywhere. Even when I was trying to figure stuff out last night, it kept dumping them off onto the floor. It was making me very, very frustrated. I'm very frustrated. This one, I'm going to go because it's got a little bit more to it. And it lends itself nicely to this particular tag. I'm going to leave this one as is. I'm not going to cover it, but this appears too plain for me, right? Most of the W would be covered, but so I'm going to glue this up in here. And then I folded this over, and I'm going to glue that down just to give it some added decoration up there at the top. Oh, see, hearing my husband yell at the dogs. That's another thing. They won't lay down. They just pace and 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 pace. Walk in circles, walk in circles. And I'm like, if you want to pace, can you at least go do it in another room where it's not driving us humans crazy? Because watching you walk circles is driving us crazy. It's driving us crazy. The incessant circles. Which is also a new behavior. Well, sort of new. Like, they would walk circles. I mean, that's natural for a dog to walk, do a couple circles, walk a couple laps before they lay out. But this is like 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes at a time, just walking in circles aimlessly from one corner of the room to the other, across, up, down, middle, sideways, and, for no reason. And then it's like, lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down, and they just keep ignoring until finally they get yelled at to lay down, and then finally they're like, okay. So it's like, what is this? What is this? Bring out my brown dye, my brown walnut stain, and my black archival, as well as my black soot, but I want it in my oxide. Well, black soot oxide, and you'll see why. You will see why. Okay. So with this, let's start with inking this edge. And I don't have to do the back, obviously, because that's going to be glued down. Now, I could do this as a pocket on the front, because then I'd have a pocket, a pocket, a pocket, a pocket, and a pocket, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to glue it down as straight up decoration. Got Dateline Live on my Roku, but unfortunately it's an episode that I watched last night. It always cracks me up. How is it live TV, but I'm watching a rerun? Seems a little backward for me. See, now that I'm looking at this, I'm wondering, I'm second guessing not doing not having the rose gold. She's got a lot of pink in her. The rose gold is very shiny. Ouch. I'm wondering. What's Doll gonna do? And dull them off with the sanding block. So they still have the pinky. They're just not in your face. And this one. These are simple. If you've never used brads before, poke them through, spread their little feet out, and then voila. You didn't quite center that one, so it's got some of that white circle showing through. We're just gonna put some and I'm not gonna put them straight. Or not this one anyway. I have no idea what I was saying. I lost my thought. Sorry. It's going to be weird to not be here in my craft room tomorrow. Or Tuesday, actually. I will be over at my bestie's house, sitting with my goddaughter, her youngest, my goddaughter, who is recovering from surgery. You guys kind of heard Emma, and she was with me while her sister was up having surgery. Well, now her sister is home, but she is not able to go back to school until Wednesday. But her mama's got to get back to work. So I will be sitting with her at her place tomorrow. I gotta bring my crafting stuff with me. I bring some crafting stuff for her also with me. She's working on a journal. And I asked her what she wanted me to bring with her. And she's like, my journal, my book. And I'm like, well, duh. What do you want me to bring for you to put in it? Let's put a little bit more brown up there. Oh, let's add a little bit of black around her too. And then let me glue this one off. I would say I'm also feeling very, very uninspired for my 100-day project today. Where's my spreader? Oh my goodness. Should have been right here in front of me. Here it is. It's under my pile of scraps. So give a little oomph to that. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to punch out the pull. As Miss E says, punch the pull. I figure out how to sharpen that thing apparently. Get some ink around this. Okay, and we're going to put some ink. Glue down each side to turn this into a pocket. So again, you end up with a pocket here that expands, a pocket here that doesn't, and a pocket here that expands. provided you don't glue your pocket closed. And then if you glue this in that U shape to the page, you end up having a pocket completely behind it. You glue, again, however, to do a U shape to be a side pocket or corner pocket, or do an L and make it a tuck. You will see more of that when I go to glue these into the actual book. Here's one. I'm going to do this one black. Just because it's got a little bit, it's got a lot of white up here in the corner. Yeah. Grungy that up a little bit more. I also need to trim off this little piece down here. Just wanted that top one to be done, and I don't really, you know what? I'm not going to waste the ink. That one's nice and grungy. I love it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Trim out these little pieces. When I got little stuff like this, I don't do these parts if I'm going to be storing them, because then by the time I go to use them, they're all like bent up and crushed and ruined or torn off. So I usually will wait until right before I go to use it to cut like the littlest pieces out, like the space in between bird legs or something. You guys have seen me do that on previous videos as well. Just going around, giving a defined edge, again covering up. This serves to cover up any extra white that doesn't get cut off when you're fussy cutting. When you're using thick papers, it covers the core. So when you tear paper, it gives it a nice edge to adhere to, which you'll see when I do those other pockets. That's kind of what I was thinking there. What color? So I've got gold. I got bronze. I like the bronze. We're going to go with the bronze. I don't have too many more of those. And put one bronze in this corner. Spread the little feet out. And then one bronze down in this little corner. I did twist it so that the feet are behind this piece, since it's not going to be covered up. And I want the little feetsies sticking out the top or at the side. Let's see if I can center this on here. Center-ish. So again, I didn't put Brad's here and here because those were going to be covered. Oh, my hands are really shaky right now. Sorry. I had somebody request that I get back to doing my miniatures, which I have the kit. It's, it's here. And eventually I'll get back to it. The problem I have is that I'm having a really hard time with my hands being shaky. So I can't really do the little things right now because I can't hold on to stuff. I can't even like even when I'm trying to like hold the tweezers and stuff, I can't even my hands are shaking so bad that I can't even hold the tweezers a lot of times. So I'm like, I don't want to start it and then be like, okay, my hands are shaking too much and then have to stop, because then I'm going to be inclined to continue working on it, but not film. And that's not fair to the people that, are wanting to see it happen. Be like, oh, sorry. Yeah, my hands were shaking too bad, but I just slowed down and continued to do it. I'm like, so until I get control of that a little bit better. And I haven't been cross stitching either. And I'm like, oh, I have that commissioned piece that I really got to get finished. They need it in like a month. I'm like, so I got to get back to that too. So this, I'm just kind of giving it some extra staying power beside those or over those brads. These I'm going to cut because I'm only going to be using half of them. I may use these still, so I'm not going to throw them away. In fact, I'm not going to put them in that pile. I'm going to put them over in that pile. I could probably maybe use them for my 100-day project. Get a couple little spots here that are not quite cut to my liking. And on this one, all four corners are going to be visible. So I am going to just kind of give them a little bit of ink around them just in case any of that whiteness shows through. I like me doing all this without even a glue bag out. I'm making a mess of myself. Trim that down. I wonder what the next Dateline story is going to be. Let's see. Color. Yeah. Copper. Gold. Or silvery. I like the silver-ish ones. I don't know if I have 4 of them. Oh, I do. Yay! So I can use those. Put it in, squish the feet. Go in, stab her through, separate, squish the feet. Through and squish the feet. And push through. Maybe push through. And separate and squish the feet. Now, I'm going to glue these behind, which is why I didn't do why I cut them in half. Hold that in place. And then this one. Right there. We have a heck of a windstorm going on right now, so I'm actually surprised that I haven't lost power and I haven't lost Wi-Fi and or through the course of this. That over that. And again, I'm going to clip those. Not click, clip those. Just until they hold down. I'm going to get this rose on first. Yeah, see, I've seen this episode of Dateline too. Again, it's like, how is it Dateline live, 24/7 live, but then there's repeats of stuff? I mean, you can't tell me there's not enough crime stories in all history that they can't go more than 24 hours without repeating something. See how much nicer that cuts when the paper's actually dry. Let's get a little trim on that side. And again, that's just about adhering and making sure that the brads stay glued. Apparently, my hands are tired. They're screaming at me, "Hey, you haven't used me. You haven't crafted with me all day today, and now you want to craft? Guess what? I'm going to complain. I'm going to do it, but I'm going to complain the whole time." Okay. And that, turn my heater down. I'm starting to sweat. It's getting a little warm in here finally. Okay, so those three are done. I'll show you those when we get to the end. I'm going to bring these in. That's right. A text message from my granddaughter. I love just getting the random stuff. She's like, "Grandma," and I go, "What?" "I love you." That was the totality of the message. I love you. She's having fun playing with her toys. Tried to talk to her a little bit ago. She's very distracted today. again, just kind of going around those edges, giving them a little a little finishing around the edges. Set that aside. I'm going to move these aside. And then, so this is music sheet out of one of my Japanese books. See some of the Japanese writing across the top there. There's no words in this other than whatever that says up there. It's just, I guess it would be instrumental, right? So let's do this because I think, yeah, let's cut it to this one first, because then I can trim it down to fit into the smaller envelope. And I don't need it to go all the way down inside the envelope. I just needed to go far enough in that this then becomes a solid page. It comes out to here because I'm going to seal it, and then I'm going to cut across the top and turn that into a top pocket. My goodness gracious, I apparently cannot speak tonight. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to slide it in here first. Some people choose to glue it first. What I've found is that if I try to glue it first, then it's way more aggravation than I like. I end up gluing multiple pages because I end up having to take some out and tear it. And, I tear it while trying to get it, and then I end up pulling it out and having to start over. For me, it's just easier. Or I could go here, actually, and just go over the top, which I think I will do. And I'm just going to give it a nice little torn raw edge here. And then I'll just glue this down like this. Now, obviously, I'm not going to put glue here because then I'll glue my pocket closed, right? So I'll glue here, here, and here, and then on the outer edges of this. So I'll glue on the envelope itself, just where I want glued. And then on this one, glue the edges that I want glued down. Because then that leaves the pocket open. And then I'll cut just a small itty bitty little sliver off up here, and that will open this up as a pocket. Oh, I do need to glue that part. I need to glue that part, otherwise I don't have a glued pocket. Now when you go like these, you have a once this is dry, you'll have a pocket. Oh, yeah. So I just want to pull that blue. Not almost. I do want to pull that blue in. Don't know if I have anything in my scraps. Let me check my scraps first. That would make for something interesting, huh? That's too light. I want a dark blue. I know I have some dark blue over on my shelf, but shouldn't be making scraps unless if I have, should make more scraps unless I have to. Man, I need to get this wrapping paper for my daughter's house too. I bought it while I was over there visiting her. And I forgot it at her house. I don't necessarily hate that, actually. Got bright blue, which that is a definite no. Nope, I don't have any. I don't have any of the dark blue that I'm thinking of in my craft bag or my scrap bag. See, I'm in my craft room. I have my door closed, but my dogs heard me move in my seat. And so they got up in the living room and started pacing again. Go right up under there. And I'm just going to cut like my plan was to just cut like a little rectangle. Do I like the blue? Or do I like this better? Or I can layer it even. Pardon me. I kind of like that plan. Now that I'm looking at it. So, let's tear this. Let's cut this. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to glue her down. My glue keeps getting stuck in its holder. So that way I can tear and cut the straight edge, but then tear around, you know, the top, the bottom, and this side over here. All right. Cut straight up the side. See, because then what I was thinking is then I'd be okay putting her like right up over here against the edge. And then that would give some design beyond this straight edge. So what I'm going to do here is find my pencil. Mark, because I don't want to glue, because I'm trying to cover that straight edge, right? So I want to make sure that I tear, but I stay on that side of the line. I'm going to tear the top and the bottom. Pardon me, just to give it some, just a little something. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to use my oxide for this. I will show you why in just a moment. Go ahead and oxide up this edge. Even though I did put walnut stain on that edge already, I'm going to put some oxide on it. And I have Q-tips and my water bottle. Now I do have to be careful because this image was printed on my printer, which is a it is an inkjet, not a laser jet. So if I get that image wet, it will smear. So oxides are water reactive or liquid reactive. So what I'm doing is just adding a little bit of water and letting the ink react to it, and hopefully it'll give it an aged bleeding type effect. Perch. You get a lot of the ink that ends up on your Q-tip. And that will go there. I understand why my glue is like sticking in its holder so bad. Clean it completely off and see if that helps. Because the flap is the smaller of the two pieces, that's where I'm going to put the glue, so that way I don't over glue. I'm going to glue her down, being mindful of where the fold is in that envelope. See, but I love that. Do I really want to? Do I really want to? Do I really, really want to? I do. So let's get this lined up on a straight edge. And then I'm going to come out just to here. I like that it gave me that nice torn edge. So I'm going to do that for here. That's that white core I was just talking about a little bit ago. Just realized that I tore it opposite in order to get that to show. It's okay, I've got extra. See, I want the white on that side. You don't always want that. Sometimes you want it to be behind, you don't want it to be hidden. So here, I want it to go this way. See, and why did I put the core on the other side? Why did I do that? See, and it shouldn't be. It's probably because it was on the envelope. Oops. the white because I want to be able to do the same thing with this. Let's put some ink on it. How would you take the lid off first? With the black oxide, and then I'll add water to it. In fact, I think I'm going to do another technique while I'm at it. That's going to, for this one, because I don't have to be careful. Changed my mind. I was like, I was thinking about splatter painting it. Just gonna go in here, solidify up. Because this was a piece of wrapping paper that was glued to itself. So just kind of going back in and making sure that both halves of that are glued down. And then this is going to go here. So again, this is the smaller of the two. So this is where I'm going to put the glue. And make sure I put the grungy, the die side down, being mindful of where that fold is, because if you put it right on the fold, it's not going to close. So keep that in mind. That gets glued down. Where was that one? Like, where were those? This flips out. Remember, this is a pocket up here. I had whiter black lace. Where did he get? But I didn't know. Amy, pulling more stuff in. I'm supposed to be putting stuff away. It's supposed to be putting stuff away. Did it almost run out? Put it over there? Don't see it over there either. Don't know what that was. This is too baby blue for this. So can we grunge flower that? I think we can get away with that. If I get away with the scissors that won't cut fabric. But we're gonna try. Okay, so I will get my good scissors out though when it comes to trimming, because I'll fold this back and trim it. So we want it to go. Oh, look, see? All my glue is doing. It's not happy crafting today, that's for sure. So we're gonna go here, across here, and up to roughly the same spot. I'm going to leave some hanging off the bottom as well. Trim this off. And we'll fold this back to trim this. That will dry and be a pocket. Pocket. I don't want to accidentally glue that. Not worried about where that's tearing because I'm going to hand tear. I just want it to be a rough guess. The size of the envelope. And then what I'm going to do, again, I'm just going to And then this, I take my oxide again. Get the lid to come off. Give it some grunge. And then what I'm going to do with this one, get my fan brush, and I'm just going to, you know what, let's do this. Like, where did my water go? Okay, we're going to set that aside, let that water do what it's going to do with the oxide. Get my little, it's got a friend. Okay. There it is. I'm like looking for my towel. Almost dropped that in my cup. Oh, did I? I didn't glue these. Were you guys yelling at me? I did that times 2. I forgot to glue the pockets. Now the dogs are out there just being crazy. I keep hearing them yell at them to lay down. Somebody is out there pacing. Okay, so I'm going to cover this entire one. There it is. I'm like, where did my ruler go? So I've cleaned my desk off and I have even less room. Like, I don't understand how that happens. So we're just going to go down to here. Let me create more stuff in my pile. Okay. And then this is going to go here. This is really thin paper. If you give it even a semi-decent crease, it should tear on its own. Okay, I do want to seal the pocket up. So I'm going to put a line here. And then I'm going to come down the envelope. But I'm not going to glue in that little triangle right there, because then that would glue me closed. We don't want to do that. And I'm going this way this time. I meant for this one to open that way. Too late now. Trim this little itty sliver off the top to open that up. And that then creates that pocket there. Bedtime. That's the page I was looking for. It's not really thick though, so I would have to like reinforce it. Kind of pulling up the browns. I was like, change of plans. Because I like that. So what I'm going to do is let's think this out here. I believe I'm doing orange. I can trim that down if I feel like I need to in just a second. Oh, but she's pretty, isn't she? Especially against that orange. It's crazy. I feel like I'm losing my mind a little bit. But I actually used orange voluntarily. Let's pull some black. And then I think what I'm going to do is besides dig. I think if I cut that out, it would take up too much of her space. I'm back in my scrap bag. Packaging paper. Birch. Dump out the scrap bag. It's because I cut it on the cord to the microphone. For starters, let's glue this flat. Oh, we're already at an hour and a half. I could have done this as 2 videos. That. It's all right. We're almost done. Okay. I'll take that. I'm going to glue this. Down the center. Put some glue here. My dogs must be misbehaving. My husband is throwing a little bit of a grump fit. I hear things being tossed around a little bit in the kitchen. It is their med time, but just like it's mine, I will get up and take mine in 2 shakes. And we're gonna trim this. Trim this. Trim that. And then after I glue it in, I will trim this side. Making a pocket. But I also want to make sure these match. This is the first like paper pocket I've done on these too. So I want to make sure that they match as closely as possible. Again, being patient, wasn't dry. It's okay. And because I'm going to be cutting this edge off, I'm not going to glue that edge. What I'm going to do is put glue here and here. And then up this side, because that'll capture that edge. What am I going to do with that side? Forgot this was a photo. So you can pick your side. I want one with a little bit lighter, so that way they can write. Whoever gets it can write on this side if they choose. Come on, air bubble. Oh, we go. Oh, I'm just going to glue some paper on there. And I did tear it a little big so then I can go back and trim. So again, I have this end, but I think with the black pen, you can write on that easily enough. Let's bring out everything that I made today because we are at an hour and 40 minutes. Holy smokes. But I also got to put my stuff away. Glue, glue, glue spreader, glue. I don't know where my cover went for my scissors, so I'm just going to put them in the jar where they belong. Eventually, I'll find the cover. 1, 2, whoops. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Missing one. Interesting. Oh, I still need to glue this on. Probably fell off in my pile over there. Gluing that on doesn't interfere with my ability to finish showing you what I have made today. So I have 3 and 3. So I made this one on a previous stream. So I have these 3, so I can choose if I decide to do 3 signatures. I've got one for each signature. Pocket, lace pocket, writing on the back. And then I have these 3 prescription bag pockets. So when you glue it in, you have a pocket here, a pocket here, a pocket here, and a pocket right here on the front. Right here. Which I gotta make sure that I don't glue closed. So, pocket here, pocket here, pocket here, and the pocket behind when you glue it onto the page. Just making sure that I didn't. There we go. Breaking that glue free. Okay. So I have 3 of those and 3 of these. Let me get these out of the way. These 3 and then these 3. Getting our stuff together. So thank you very, very much. While I get my camera out and get it ready to snap this picture, just want to say thank you once again for joining in. I hope you are enjoying the making of this journal and all the other stuff that I'm doing. If so, please hit that like button. And also, if you'd be so kind, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, share my channel with anybody that you think would be interested in my content. Until next time, bye.